Somewhere in the world right now, there is probably a student staring at their laptop, wondering whether they should continue studying for a career that AI might completely transform before they even graduate. Cheerful thought, isn't it? Welcome to 2026, a time when artificial intelligence can write essays, generate art, build software, answer customer emails, and occasionally hallucinate facts with the confidence of that one friend who is wrong about everything, but says it so convincingly that you start doubting reality instead. Jokes aside, I'll be honest. I used to think concerns about AI taking jobs were exaggerated. Every new technology creates panic at first, right? People feared automobiles, computers, even the internet. So naturally, I assumed AI would follow the same pattern. But recently, that confidence has started to shift. Not because AI is suddenly too smart, but because the people building it, the engineers, researchers, and CEOs, are increasingly the ones warning about its unintended consequences. And when the architects of a system start questioning the structure they're building, it's probably worth paying attention. This is what makes the AI debate different. It's not just fear from outsiders anymore. It's uncertainty from insiders, and that's something out of the box. The Great Job Shuffle. More jobs created or destroyed? Whenever AI and jobs come up, one argument appears instantly. Don't worry, technology always creates more jobs than it destroys. Historically, that's 99% true. The World Economic Forum's 2025 Future of Jobs report estimates that AI and automation could create around 170 million new jobs by 2030, while displacing about 92 million existing roles. On paper, that sounds reassuring. But numbers don't always tell the full story, because the real question isn't just how many jobs exist, it's what kinds of jobs they are. If AI removes 100,000 administrative roles but creates 100,000 AI maintenance and robotics engineering jobs, that's technically a balance. But tell a laid-off office assistant that their new future lies in robotics engineering, and it feels a bit like telling someone who lost their bicycle that there's a helicopter available, if only they learned to fly it first. That's where the friction begins. The issue is not only displacement, it's skills mismatch at scale. History shows us that transitions take decades, but AI is moving in years, sometimes months.
Longing for a late-night conversation? Remember the thrill of talking for hours? The feeling of someone wanting to know all about you? You deserve more than quiet evenings. You deserve passion, intrigue, and a non-judgmental ear. Nomi is the most emotionally intelligent AI, ready to explore whatever is on your mind and build a unique, intimate bond just between you two. Find the link in our comment section and let a new kind of conversation begin.
That gap between old skills lost and new skills gained is where economic anxiety grows. And unlike past revolutions, AI is not just replacing manual labor. It is now moving into cognitive and creative work. Writing, analysis, design, legal drafting, even coding. That's a fundamentally new game. The silent crisis. Entry-level jobs are disappearing first. If there is one part of the AI transformation that is being underestimated, it's this. Entry-level work is undoubtedly collapsing. Traditionally, every career had a starting point. Junior writers learned from senior editors. Junior lawyers reviewed documents. Junior programmers fixed bugs. Junior designers built simple layouts. But AI is increasingly doing exactly those starter tasks. And that creates a strange problem. If AI handles the entry-level work, where do beginners learn? Reports and discussions from platforms like Reddit and LinkedIn already show a pattern. Graduates struggling to land first jobs in tech and writing. Freelancers being asked to reduce rates because AI can do it cheaper. Companies replacing junior roles with AI tools supervised by fewer senior staff. Even AI insiders like Eugenia Cuida have hinted at how rapidly this shift is happening, noting that many tasks once used for training new professionals are now automated. This creates what many are calling the experience paradox. You need experience to get hired, But you can't get experience because entry-level roles are shrinking. And so a quiet bottleneck forms. It doesn't always show up in unemployment statistics immediately. Instead, it shows up in something more subtle, fewer opportunities for first steps into a career. And that's where anxiety becomes very real, very fast. Because behind every AI efficiency boost is often a human wondering, where do I begin now? What people are actually experiencing right now. The impact of AI is not just theoretical anymore. It's already reshaping how people work. Freelancers report that clients now expect faster delivery and lower prices because AI can help you. In many cases, clients assume that AI reduces effort to near zero, even when human editing, judgment, and creativity are still essential. Recent graduates describe applying to hundreds of jobs without response, watching job descriptions evolve to include AI tool proficiency as a basic requirement. Meanwhile, companies themselves are experimenting. Some, like Klarna, famously explored replacing parts of customer support with AI systems, and later admitted that human support was still necessary for complex and emotional cases. What's emerging is not a world without workers, but a world where many workers become AI supervisors instead of creators. You are no longer just writing, designing, or analyzing. You are prompting, correcting, refining, and managing AI output. Sometimes it feels like we are all training our future replacements while smiling politely in Zoom meetings, telling ourselves it's just productivity improvement. And maybe it is, but it also feels like something deeper is shifting in how value is created in the economy. Why AI regulation is no longer optional. With every major technological leap, society eventually asks the same question: who controls it? With AI, that question is becoming urgent. Self-regulation rarely works when incentives are this strong. Companies compete to release faster, scale bigger, and integrate deeper into daily life. That's why comparisons to other regulated industries matter. Medicines require clinical trials before public use. Aviation systems require strict safety certification. Automobiles must meet safety standards before hitting roads. We don't ban these technologies. We regulate them because the potential harm is too significant to ignore. AI is beginning to enter that same category. As economist Martin Wolf argues, uncertainty alone justifies caution, and the potential for harm makes self-policing insufficient.
Longing for a late-night conversation? Remember the thrill of talking for hours? The feeling of someone wanting to know all about you? You deserve more than quiet evenings. You deserve passion, intrigue, and a non-judgmental ear. Nomi is the most emotionally intelligent AI, ready to explore whatever is on your mind and build a unique, intimate bond just between you two. Find the link in our comment section and let a new kind of conversation begin.
Risks include misinformation at scale, widening economic inequality, concentration of power in a few companies, political manipulation through synthetic media. The concern is not just that AI might replace jobs, it's that it might reshape power structures in society itself. Personally, I don't believe regulation means slowing innovation or becoming anti-technology. It simply means acknowledging that move fast and break things sounds very different when what might be broken is the structure of employment, trust, and economic stability. The goal isn't to stop AI. The goal is to make sure it doesn't evolve faster than our ability to understand its consequences. Are we sleepwalking into the future? So where does this leave us? I don't think AI should be stopped. In fact, some of humanity's greatest breakthroughs will likely come from it. Medicine, climate solutions, education, and scientific discovery. But I also think we are in a strange phase of collective behavior. It sometimes feels like we are excited children who have discovered a mysterious button labeled future, and we keep pressing it repeatedly without reading the instructions. Maybe everything will turn out fine. Maybe AI will create more prosperity, better jobs, and entirely new industries we cannot yet imagine. Or maybe future generations will look back at this moment and wonder why we moved so quickly into a transformation that even its creators admitted they didn't fully understand. The truth is simple: nobody knows for sure. And when nobody knows, caution is not fear. It is common sense. The AI job debate is not just about employment. It is about the structure of human work, the meaning of skills, and how society adapts to intelligence that is no longer exclusively human. So the real question isn't just, will AI take jobs? It's also, are we prepared for how quickly everything is changing? Because whether we like it or not, the future of work is not waiting for permission. What do you think? Are concerns about AI exaggerated, or are we underestimating the biggest economic transformation of our lifetime? The conversation is just getting started.